Hello there. This is Terri Quinlan. We are doing our first podcast at Seal Beach Community Television. And on podcasts, people talk really, really fast. But I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. We've got a great guest with us today. His name is Daren de Leon. Some of you in Seal Beach might have seen him roaming around at concerts and various things that happen in Seal Beach. So we're going to talk a few minutes and find out how all this thing came together for Nashville on the coast. And stick with us. We're going to meet some interesting stuff that he does. Thank you, Daren de Leon, for coming today.
How you doing, Terri? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we, you and I think I came up to you one time at a Seal Beach concert. I handed you my card, and I said, I know someone who could do this Nashville on the Coast thing. Call me back. And I think that might have been, it was a concert. You hadn't really even started Nashville on the Coast yet.
Yeah, at that time, we were just doing the summer concerts here in Seal Beach, and you were a great contact, so thank you.
Yeah, so it was fun to connect, and I know many songwriters because I've been doing mostly TV shows here at Seal Beach with people who have their own band or their acoustic guitar or kind of music. It can be any kind of music, but it's somebody that I think is pretty delightful and quite an artist, and so I'll invite them in and do an interview. So that's kind of how I got started, but I want to know about you. How did you get started even doing it? You must know so many musicians. You got a background in music? Where are you from? I don't know anything about you.
So I was born here in L.A. When I was young, my father took me out to Hemet, and I grew up out there, came back to the Long Beach, Seal Beach area for college.
Did you go to Costa at Long Beach, or where'd you go?
I went to Long Beach City, then State.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's my alma mater, too. Yeah.
Great school.
So, but did you take any courses in music or not?
I am a sports guy.
Oh, okay.
To the heart, I'm a sports guy.
Okay.
Never had any music in my life. When I sing in the shower, the water shuts off. It doesn't want to hear me. But I lived in Mississippi for about 6 years, and when my son graduated from Los Al High, we went back. He said, Dad, I'm going to Ole Miss.
Oh.
And it was great because I knew a lot of the executives from Nashville by going to the Ole Miss games, tailgating with them, and drinking some good bourbon with them. But when he went back, that's basically how we got started in the Grove at Ole Miss, talking to some Nashville executives, wanted to do something out here like they do in Nashville, more songwriter rounds than bands.
Okay. So some people only think of music as, I'm going to go dance tonight with XYZ band because I love that band. A lot of people don't even think about the songwriter, right? And so I think what's really great about Nashville on the Coast is a focus on songwriting and the people who make those songs.
Yes, it is. In Nashville, most people don't know, but there's two sides of Nashville. There's the Broadway, which is 3 stories of bands playing all night long. It's just a crazy atmosphere. And then there's the songwriting side of it. There's places like the Listening Room, the Bluebird, where you go and listen to the music. It's not about going there and just having a good time with your friends. It's about listening to the songs and the stories behind those songs.
Right. I did get to go to Nashville in December, and I did the tour of the Rhyme, and I went to the Grand Ole Opry, and I know that some of those places started in church. They were church locations, and so people were already gravitated to music in church, right? And so then to find out, now they're huge venues for people to just come and listen to music. So tell us how you formed Nashville on the Coast. How did that end up here in California?
So during one of the tailgates at Ole Miss, one of the producers said, Daren, I want you to meet one of my new artists. And I'm like, okay. So he started telling me all about himself, about his music, what he's doing. And then he asked me about myself. And like you said earlier, I was involved in the Seal Beach summer concerts. And once I told him that, his eyes got really big. And he said, I would love to get my music out to California. What can we do? So we had a few more shots and started talking about what we could do to bring songwriting and songwriter rounds out to California. Hence, Nashville on the Coast was born.
And it started small compared to this last one you did. So tell me the progression of how you started And this was in, what year was it?
21.
21. Okay, so I have known you well, haven't I? So in 2021, it was an idea. And you started with, what was it, 5 artists or 4 artists, something like that?
We started with 3 artists.
3.
One came from Georgia, one came from Alabama, and one was a local guy from the South Bay out here. And we played 5 shows in 4 days.
Okay.
Around town to see if it would work, because we didn't know if songwriting would work out here.
Right.
And we played in different venues up and down Main Street, and everywhere we went, you couldn't get in the front door. At that point, we decided it works.
Yeah.
So the next year, it went to, I believe, 15 songwriters. Now we're up in between 40 and 50 songwriters every year.
I have said to other friends that you are a magical guy with juggling balls. It's like, how do you even do it? Because it's just the personality of many musicians. You know, they've got big, busy schedules, and you book them, and they've got things to do, and showing up on time, all the stuff that goes along with that, right? And sometimes there'll be equipment failures, or there's just so many variables to put a big event together and have many, many musicians. So I'm sure your phone must just ring off the hook, right? And
I have it on silent right now.
Yeah. I have to say also that there was a time in the city of Seal Beach where music was outlawed. Like the city council people said, if we allow music in Seal Beach, it's going to turn like Huntington Beach. It's just going to get loaded with too many people. It's going to be too many problems. We do not want music. And so I remember Eddie Montana, who used to have the music store here in town, and he kind of blocked off next to the Electric and Main Street, and just a little part of the back of the parking lot, you know, and started doing some music on the sidewalk, and it was like, whoa, he's breaking the rules, you know. And then it moved to the pier, and then you came along, and it was like a miracle. And now we've come a really long way. And I see now on your website you've got sponsorship from many of the establishments here in town. And you and I are both members of the Seal Beach Lions, and you're a member of the Chamber. We've got a lot of community spirit that goes behind this entire music project, we'll just say. And certainly we know that for a lot of people who like maybe don't get out much, they'll go out and check out the music, and maybe somebody they'll just listen, or they're going to dance. And so the evolution of your program, you think you'll ever try it in any other city? You think you'll branch out and have other people do it? Or is this kind of our thing?
So Seal Beach is our home. Seal Beach is where we're based out of, but we have started branching out. We are starting to talk to places in Huntington. We have a residency at Sea Salt the 4th Sunday of every month at Sea Salt Honky Tonk, which is in Bolsa Chica State Beach.
Yeah, it's right on the beach. It's on the
right
sand.
on the beach.
I did see the video of that where people are kicking their boots up with sand coming up. and it's interesting. So you don't have to wait in line to get into the main park. They've got their own parking setup, right?
Bolsa Chica has changed it, and it's worked out really well. There's no more traffic on PCH because you just go through the gates and you find your parking spot and pay over your phone.
They're just so easy. That's really great.
Very
Save a lot of aggravation for people trying to wait in line and all that kind of thing. So that's good. So that's a recent one, and I know you're at the Beach House from time to time. So who should make it clear, when you do Nashville on the Coast, quotation marks at Nashville on the Coast, that's a certain time of year. I know last time you did it in March. I think one time it was in the summer. So you take several days in a row, but then you also present other artists at other venues. I've been to the one at Western Coast, which is really nice. That's in Costa Mesa. Mm-hmm. And so you invite original songwriters, original songwriting people who do their songs. And there's just such great talent. There's so many artists that just thrive in that world of songwriting. And it's great to see like Stephanie Wall and Dan Franklin Wall. They're so fun.
They're excellent.
They're just so fun. And so when you see that the capability of and the power of music and working in people's lives with that kind of a venue. And it's not like you go there to go dancing. You go there to listen to the music, and it's just perfect. And I have to say, the gas lamp was part of your deal this last time in March. Tell a little,
Yes.
how'd you make that connection?
So the gas lamp, I grew up going there when it was a bunch of different venues. It was the names continuously changed, but I always loved the venue. So we went there. They've got a beautiful venue, great food, great drinks, but the stage is something that you just go and listen.
Right.
And this year it was probably one of our best shows where you could have heard a pin drop.
It was awesome.
And that's the way
I was there. It was excellent. It's
that's
one
the way
of
it's
the
supposed
one
to
of
be
the
in
best.
Nashville.
Yeah, I love that whole concept, and I hope maybe it'll catch on and people will kind of discover what we're talking about. And it was perfect because you'd never been there before for your Nashville on the Coast.
Correct.
So it just worked out fantastic. And now most of the bands there are doing our tribute bands. That's just a thing they do. They're busy all the time now. But I know it was a struggle for them for quite a while to just find the right music and the right number of people. And I go there to hear Tom Kubis, who's the guy who writes charts. He's there once a month on a Monday, the last Monday of the month. So I know that's a definitely listen to group because he's there with maybe, I don't know, sometimes 25 or 30 guys who read charts and they're playing from his charts. So it's a lot of humor and a really great bunch of music from like old band sound stuff. So I'm there faithfully for that deal, just as an aside. But one of the other things that I know that you do is you've got all these sponsors. Nobody has to pay to come to the event. Explain how that's possible.
So like you said, we have a bunch of sponsors, especially here in Seal Beach. But one of our biggest sponsors is BMI. And that's why the artists come to us, is BMI's world known.
Maybe some people don't know what that stands for. Maybe you should explain it.
You go ahead.
Yeah, I know it has to do with copyright. So there's ASCAP and BMI, and they kind of do the same thing. But there's some artists prefer one or the other, and I don't have the explanation for that, but but it does have to do with copywriting music.
Correct. And artists tend to go where they know, and they want a organization that stands behind them and that they can trust. And with BMI behind us, people trust us. We have over 100 songwriters from across the country, from Florida to Connecticut to Jersey, of course, Tennessee, Texas, Arizona, from all over the country, and it has a lot to do with BMI.
Yeah, that's great. So it's like an umbrella of safety, so to speak, where they know it's going to be, it's not just a fluke.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, that's good. And then, so you got other sponsorships like from different restaurants and Chamber and all the other Lions Club, like a lot of different, I don't even know, must have like 30 or 40 sponsors, it seems like, from looking at your website. And so the revenue's generated there, and so you don't have to, nobody has to buy a ticket to show up for your event. What else do you do with the funds?
So basically, as you said, it's a free event. So sponsorship has to come somewhere. We go out and get our sponsors, and we're always looking for sponsors. So if any sponsors are out there,
Call you.
go to our website.
Gotcha.
But what we do is we have to pay the artists because that's their livelihood.
Sure.
After we pay the artists, then we have our Honor Flight Southland, which takes veterans back to D.C. to honor them at the memorials for a weekend-long trip. They take about 35 every trip, and they just honor them at their memorials. When they bring them back, there's a welcome home celebration at the airport, and it's just something that these veterans didn't get when they originally came home, something that's well needed.
So it's a veteran-driven program, and I noticed on your website there's a video actually from ABC. You did an interview, or not you, but they interviewed participants in the program and how elated these veterans are when they get to go back to Washington, D.C. and see all these memorials. It could be Army, Navy, Air Force, their favorites, right? And then get applauded for their service. and acknowledged that didn't acknowledge you when you came back, but we're doing it today because you deserve that recognition.
It's a special organization.
Yeah, it's really remarkable. So we'll see oftentimes when you're doing smaller gigs like on Main Street during the car show or something like that, we'll see the Honor Flight Southland table where you've got some information if people want to help sponsor it or whatever. But that's one of your main focuses when you're promoting your Nashville on the Coast. It's like they're connected together, right? It's a deal.
Yes, we always wanted to give back to the community, and I've known and worked with this organization for the past 10, 15 years,
Wow.
somewhere in there, in different aspects. And I said, this is where I want to put our money to.
Yeah.
So.
And you've received some accolades behind all that. You were recognized with the Americana Awards at Cypress. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so my wife and I were named Seal Beach Citizens of the Year a couple of years ago, and that was an amazing event because they take all North Orange County Citizen of the Years, and they have a big celebration to raise money for Cypress College.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that part of it.
Yeah.
But that's very cool. So you and your wife got acknowledged for your contribution to the cause for Honor Flight. And then there's accolades that go with that too. We all in Seal Beach are like proud of you for having done all of that hard work.
Well, thank you.
So it's kind of like a win-win all the way around, right? People show up for the event. They're supporting the local establishments here in town. The volunteers who help from the Lions Club and the Chamber of Commerce come and help with escorting people in and out of these venues. I mean, it's a community-driven thing, and that's another component of what makes this, I think, such a success. And it's like not if you're going to have it, it's when you're going to have it again. and meanwhile, I know you've got some gigs lined up over the next couple months because we're doing this program right now on just before the beginning of July. So you got the salt. What is it called on the beach?
Sea salt.
Sea salt. And then where else are you setting up to be?
So we'll be at Sea Salt the fourth Sunday in July and the fourth Sunday in August. Also, there is a very special event to our hearts at Nashville on the Coast. An artist that plays with us has been around Southern California songwriting for years, just got diagnosed with cancer and was in the hospital.
Oh.
So we are having a benefit for him and his kids on July 18th at Hangar 24 in Irvine.
Oh.
So.
And what's his name?
His name is J.T. Harker.
Okay.
He plays with us all the time. We support each other. He's also another promoter, so we work well together. We always do what we can to bring the songwriting community together.
Yeah, you're on the same page, sounds like.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
So we want to support his family. So on the 18th of July, if anybody's not busy, go down to Hangar 24. We're having a benefit for him that night.
And that's in Irvine.
That's in Irvine.
I haven't been to that one yet.
There's going to be songwriter rounds all night. There's probably about 10 to 15 songwriters performing that night.
That'll be awesome. Yeah. And just to make it clear to somebody who doesn't know, these songwriters are singing their original songs. You're not going there to listen to the Doors or the Eagles, or you're listening to original songs. Not that I'm putting them down at all. Somebody wrote some of their songs too, right? And a lot of times some of these artists are writing for other performers well known. So it just across the board, it's just an amazing thing to get these songwriters who often live in the background, right? One of the things I like about your website is we can go to an artist who's been part of your group and click the name, and a plethora of information about that artist shows up. So I was there today and checked it out. And I know Stephen McClintock is one of our friends, and he's like, whoa. It was like, that's pretty astonishing that you've got that set up that way, because it's good information for anybody looking for the artists that you help support and work with.
Yes, we're here for the artists. We consider ourselves the Nashville on the Coast family. We're here for each other. Everybody gets along together. There's no in-house fighting that we're better than you. Everybody's there for each other.
Right.
And it's about the songs. It's about the stories behind those songs. These people pour their hearts out in these songs, and it's their story.
Right.
It's not nothing else but their stories,
Right.
and we want you to listen to them.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing when you really look at the aspect of songwriting. And you know, I have one of our gals who does some songwriting with us. She's a music therapist, and there's some studies going on right now. There's a big convention coming up in Irvine in October about the effect of music on the brain, the human brain. Because, you know, a lot of times, like veterans with PTSD, they're just troubled forever and ever and ever. And the study is showing that music, you know, maybe instead of the medication, you know, that music can be a part of the healing process. And I really do believe that to be true. And I'm connected with Operation Song for that reason, which you know. So we're working to make all that stuff happen. You know, it's just a beautiful musical miracle. I look at it as a blessing for sure. And I had written in my notes how this is all a family thing, you know, for sure. The community of songwriters and the family that exists across the nation. It's not just here in Seal Beach. It goes way beyond all of that. So I'm happy to have you here today. That we got to give a little bit of insight to you became a voice of Seal Beach, and got to meet you, and I know you, but now other people will know more about you, which is very, very cool.
That could be dangerous.
And no, we wish you very well and continued success on what you're doing. It's been a pleasure to talk to you today.
Thanks, Terry.
Thank you. Over and out now. Thank you very much for being with us.